Welcome to Thriving Tribesmen. My name is Corey, your host, and I'm excited to be making this episode. A lot of you guys are going to remain sexless because when it comes to seduction, you've got this reactive approach towards it. You're sort of laying there waiting for that one special moment in order to make that move. And that special moment never comes. And when it does, when you feel like that special moment comes, you kind of rush it, and then you sort of get rejected, and then all of a sudden you feel bad about yourself, and then you feel shitty about yourself, and you start crying about the fact that you're not wanted and she doesn't love you, and all of these things that people go through whenever they suffer rejection. And I'm mocking you because of it, because again, getting into that state it's ludicrous, because a lot of the times when she rejects you, she's not rejecting you specifically, as in how you look and whether she's not attracted to you. That's not what she's rejecting. 9 times out of 10, she's rejecting your approach. It's like the way I've said this to many clients is that you have to think as yourself as what you call them, the guys that forge swords. If I'm going to forge a sword and make it look amazing, I'm not going to just hit it when it's hard metal. I have to warm it up and get it to a certain temperature where it's malleable, so I can start really forging it into the thing that I want it to be. And again, when it comes to seduction, it has to be the same thing. You have to warm her up before her to get to that place. And this is where it comes to the point where you have to be proactive when it comes to seduction. Now, you've been given data by your partner for the past few weeks, the past few months, the past few years, that she's not going to be prepared to initiate all the time. In fact, the amount of times that she's going to initiate is going to be very little, especially if in a sexless relationship. In fact, your needs are not priority to her, and therefore you expecting for her to actually be in charge of your sex life is absolute ludicrous, absolutely insane. So again, when a lot of you guys say I've got rejected continuously, and this is I'm really butthurt about the fact that I'm getting, a lot of it is it's because you just of your approach. You've got this mindset of wanting to react to her rather than you being proactive in terms of your seduction. Now, when it comes to seduction, when I say proactive, a lot of you guys do take some actions towards seduction, and generally yours are with using 2 tools, when you've got several tools that you could use in order to get the process going. Now, most of you guys, when it comes to seduction, a lot of you guys, the 2 tools that you use is, yes, you verbalize things, but you verbalize more using innuendos, and you use innuendos as a way of just trying to gauge to see if she plays along. If she plays along, then it's almost like, oh, at least there's something there, and then it sort of gives you that a little bit of confidence to move to the next step. And again, this is now you doing stuff that is putting all the balls in the court, so that she has to make the move in order for the sex to happen. Now, again, there is some good parts about doing that. There's a part of you where you have to sort of throw things out there to see what actually works, which is part of the seduction process. And then there's part of it that you guys use a lot of verbal stuff where you are innuendos. The other bit is that you use your hands, and so if you get that signal, then you try and use your hands in order to get somewhere. And again, when you do so, it's if she's not warm enough, it will cause you to get rejected. And again, it depends of where you're putting your hands and what you're trying to do. So most people's place where they go to the boobs directly. If not, maybe they might try and kiss. And again, a lot of this stuff, I know that it sounds ridiculous as I'm saying it from this perspective, but when I think of seduction and being proactive with my seduction, I kind of use more tools than you would expect. In fact, a lot of you guys, the time when you think about seduction and using seduction is when you're about to have sex. So, for example, today is Wednesday. If I wanted to have sex with my wife on Saturday, for example, I would start seducing her on Monday or Tuesday, many days before that actually happens. especially if she's got a track record of not initiating, if she's got a track record of not having having desire, that she's ravenous to want to have sex with me. When she's got that track record, especially a lot of you guys within a sexless relationship, you should be trying to make that runway a lot longer. The longer the runway, the bigger that you can, the bigger plane that you can take off. Meaning that for you to actually elevate and get this thing going, you need more time to warm her up over a period of time. You try and do it on the day, a few minutes before you want to have sex, and it creates this seduction resistance. And a lot of it, again, you guys, you get butthurt about rejection, you get dejected, you feel unwanted, you get depressed, all over, all these negative emotions. And a large chunk of it is that she's not rejecting you specifically. It's not you that she's rejecting. It's the approach that you have. And this is the reason why it's absolutely ludicrous on my side when I'm looking outside, looking in. That is, in fact, that when it comes to the seduction process, you have to look at it as a series of green lights. Like, I'm comfortable with you closing the distance between us. So I'm comfortable with you sitting close to me or being close to me. That's one green light. And the next green light, I'm comfortable with you touching me on these non-sexual zones. Okay, you passed that one. There's another green light. I'm comfortable with you touching me on the sexual zones. And then I'm comfortable with you taking it a little bit more into the private zones. So you can see that there's a progression, and there's a steady progression, and a lot of it is using different tools to get there. Now, a lot of you guys use, like I said, you use your hands and your voice and innuendos. And I tried to record this a few times, so I might be confused. But what just to recap, a lot of you guys use innuendos in order to see whether you can move forward, or you either use your hands then to try and see if you can do things. And again, if you do it too soon or too early, she's going to reject you because she's not comfortable. She's not there. She's not quite there. Like the forged iron, you want to make a sword, you have to get it to the right temperature. So in order to get it to the right temperature, you then have to use multiple tools. Now you have to, I like to use eye contact. I like to use my body as, for example, if I'm saying something verbal, I would make sure that I'm at distance, but I'm also leaving the room, or I've got this motion of I'm leaving. So I would say something like, "You look absolutely hot," and then walk out, not even wait for a response, or your butt looks really sexy. Whatever, something that is outrageously sexy, I would say it, but on my way out. And again, I'm using my body in order to communicate that I'm saying it, but I'm not even waiting for your response. And again, I'm saying it without any pressure on you to do anything sexually to me. And again, that speaks a lot of volume. It increases the tension around the sexual. And again, some of it is your response to interactions. Like I said, your voice tone is very important. So how I speak, I have to speak in a relaxed tone. A lot of you guys, your previous rejections in previous interactions sexually have caused you to feel nervous when it comes to approaching sexual encounters. So whenever you're having those interactions, because you're nervous and you're rejection averse, it forces you to communicate these nervous vibes. It's lack of a better term. And when you are trying to do something seductive and you're a little bit nervous about what you're doing, she rejects that instead of rejecting you because she feels uncomfortable. When you are uncomfortable, she will feel uncomfortable. So again, it comes down to whenever you are in seduction, you have to have absolute fucking confidence in yourself and what you're doing. If it's just like I was listening to a comedian once and he said, if you wanted to stick your finger in her butt while you're having doggy style, if you went, "Excuse me, please, can I please stick this finger in your butt?" She's probably gonna go, "Fuck now." But if I was like, "Gee, just put lube put it in my mouth so I can lube it up," and then just stuck it in, and with supreme confidence, she will take it because she just thinks, okay, this guy knows exactly what he's doing. So that plays out in every single step of your seduction. So you have supreme confidence, and you build up that confidence over a period of time. This is why if you start from a few days before, you're allowing yourself to build the confidence. And the way you build confidence, again, it's like I said, you use a bit of eye contact, you use a bit of your voice tone, you're showing that this relaxed state, you're communicating this, and you're gradually escalating your touch from something that is non-sexual to something that is a little bit more sexual over a period of time. And when you do so, it becomes more entertaining for both of you because it builds up excitement when it comes to seduction. So you have to start viewing seduction from this perspective, and this perspective is proactive. Now, this again is going to come down to some of the training that I wanted to teach you a few things. We've got a free seduction blueprint we have for you. In order for you to get it, you have to go to thriving_tribesmen. And when you go to thriving_tribesmen, DM me the word blueprint. When you do, we'll send you all the information that you need. Now, this blueprint is free, and what it entails is us then having to communicate with you, setting up a phone call. It's not a sales call. It's actually us trying to figure out what's going on in your relationship, and then we'll give you exactly what you need to do in order to start changing your relationship. Now, why are we doing this for free? We do this because this is how we get clients. So we give you homework, we give you a result. You go and test out how we're coaching, and you see it working. And then when we review what you've done, if you've done the homework correctly, then we might actually give you an opportunity to join Reignite. Now, if it's not for everybody, you have to qualify to get in. So how you do that homework is also how we see whether you are a good fit for us. So thank you very much, guys. I'll be seeing you guys soon. Take care.